I go now? Okay, here goes. Lulu, a young neighbour and friend of Meg's, chats with Stanley, who decides not to go for a walk with her. She leaves. He takes off his glasses and goes to wash his face in the kitchen. Two men, Goldberg, who carries a briefcase, and McCann, who carries two suitcases, enter by the back door into the living room. Stanley sees them, slips on his glasses, and sidles through the kitchen door and out the back door.
Is this it?
This is it.
Are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure.
What now?
Don't worry yourself, McCann. Take a seat.
What about you?
What about me?
Are you going to take a seat?
We'll both take a seat. Sit back, McCann. Relax. What's the matter with you? I bring you down for a few days to the seaside. Take a holiday. Do yourself a favour. Learn to relax, McCann, or you'll never get anywhere.
Sure. I do try that.
The secret is breathing. Take my tip. It's a well-known fact. Breathe in, breathe out. Take a chance. Let yourself go. What can you lose? Look at me. When I was an apprentice yet, McCann, every second Friday of the month, my Uncle Barney used to take me to the seaside, regular as clockwork. Brighton, Canvey Island, Rottingdean. Uncle Barney wasn't particular. After lunch on Shabbos, we'd go and sit on a couple of deck chairs, the ones with canopies. We'd have a little paddle. We'd watch the tide coming in, going out, the sun coming down. Golden days, believe me, McCann. Uncle Barney. Of course, he was an impeccable dresser, one of the old school. He had a house just outside Basingstoke at the time, respected by the whole community. Culture. Don't talk to me about culture. He was an all-round man, what do you mean? He was a cosmopolitan.
Hey, Nat.
Yes, one of the old school.
Nat, how do we know this is the right house?
What?
How do we know this is the right house?
What makes you think it's the wrong house?
I didn't see a number on the gate.
I wasn't looking for a number.
No.
You know one thing Uncle Barney taught me? Uncle Barney taught me that the word of a gentleman is enough. That's why when I had to go away on business, I never carried any money. One of my sons used to come with me. He used to carry a few coppers. For a paper, perhaps, to see how the MCC was getting on overseas. Otherwise, my name was good. Besides, I was a very busy man.
What about this, Nat? Isn't it about time someone came in?
McCann, what are you so nervous about? Hold yourself together. Everywhere you go these days, it's like a funeral.
Yeah, that's true.
True? Of course it's true. It's more than true. It's a fact.
Yeah, you may be right.
What is it, McCann? You don't trust me like you did in the old days?
Sure, I trust you, Nat.
But why is it that before you do a job, you're all over the place, and when you're doing the job, you're as cool as a whistle?
I don't know, Nat. I'm just all right once I know what I'm doing. When I know what I'm doing, I'm all right.
Well, you do it very well.
Oh, thank you, Nat.
You know what I said when this job came up? I mean, naturally, they approached me to take care of it. And you know who I asked for?
Who?
You.
That was very good of you, Nat.
No, it was nothing. You're a capable man, McCann.
That's a great compliment, Nat, coming from a man in your position.
Oh, I've got a position, I won't deny it.
You certainly have.
I would never deny that I had a position.
And what a position.
It's not a thing I would deny.
Yeah, it's true. You've done a lot for me. I appreciate it.
Say no more.
You've always been a true Christian.
In a way.
No, I just thought I'd tell you that. I appreciate it.
It's unnecessary to recapitulate.
You're right there.
Quite unnecessary.
Hey, Nat, just one thing.
What now?
This job. No, listen, this job. Is it going to be like anything we've ever done before? No, just tell me that. Just that. And I won't ask any more.
The main issue is a singular issue and quite distinct from your previous work. Certain elements, however, might well approximate in points of procedure to some of your other activities. All is dependent on the attitude of our subject. At all events, McCann, I can assure you that the assignment will be carried out and the mission accomplished with no excessive aggravation to you or myself. Satisfied?
Sure. Thank you, Nat.
Don't lie.
You betrayed the organisation. I know him.
You don't?
What can you see without your glasses?
Anything.
Coffee's glasses. Webber, you're a fake. When did you last wash up a cup?
The Christmas before last.
Where?
Lion's Corner House.
Which one?
Marble Arch.
Where was your wife?
In.
Answer.
What wife?
What have you done with your wife?
He's killed his wife.
Why did you kill your wife?
What wife?
How did he kill her?
How did you kill her?
You throttled her.
With arsenic.
There's your man.
Where's your old mum?
In the sanatorium.
Yes.
Why did you never get married?
She was waiting at the porch.
She skedaddled from the wedding.
He left her in the lurch.
You left her in the pudding club.
She was waiting at the church.
Webber, why did you change your name?
I forgot the other one.
What's your name now?
Joe Soap.
You stink of sin.
I can smell it.
Do you recognise an external force?
What?
Do you recognise an external force?
That's the question.
Do you recognise an external force responsible for you, suffering for you?
It's late.
Late? Late enough. When did you last pray?
He's sweating.
When did you last pray?
He's sweating.
Is the number 846 possible or necessary?
Neither.
Wrong. Is the number 846 possible or necessary?
Both.
Wrong. It's necessary, but not possible.
Both.
Wrong. Why do you think the number 846 is necessarily possible?
Must be.
Wrong. It's only necessarily necessary. We admit possibility only after we grant necessity. It is possible because necessary, but by no means necessary through possibility. The possibility can only be assumed after the proof of necessity.
Right.
Right? Of course, right. We're right and you're wrong, Webber. All along the line.
All along the line.
Where is your lechery leading you?
You pay for this.
Stuff yourself with dry toast.
You contaminate womankind.
Why don't you pay the rent?
Mother defiler.
Why do you pick your nose?
I demand justice.
What's your trade?
What about Ireland?
What's your trade?
I play piano.
How many fingers did you use?
No hands.
No society would touch you. Not even a building society.
You're a traitor to the cloth.
What do you use for pyjamas?
Nothing.
You verminate the sheet of your birth.
What about the Albigensenist heresy?
Who watered the wicket in Melbourne?
What about the blessed Oliver Plunkett?
Speak up, Webber. Why did the chicken cross the road?
He wanted to. He wanted to. He wanted to.
He doesn't know.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
He wanted to. He wanted to.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
He wanted. He wanted.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know which came first.
Which came first?
Chicken, egg, which came first?
Which came first? Which came first? Which came first? He doesn't know. Do you know your own face?
Wake him up. Stick a needle in his eye.
You're a plague, Webber. You're an overthrow.
You're what's left.
But we've got the answer to you. We can sterilise you.
What about Florida?
Your bite is dead. Only your pong is left.
You betrayed our land.
You betray our breed.
Who are you, Webber?
What makes you think you exist?
You're dead.
You're dead. You can't live. You can't think. You can't love. You're dead. You're a plague gone bad. There's no juice in you. You're steady, McCann.
Right, Judas.
Steady, McCann.
Come on. He's sweating.
Easy, McCann.
The bastard sweat pig is sweating.
I brought the drum down. I'm dressed for the party.
Wonderful.
Okay, you can unmute everybody.
Yeah. Oh, that was so sinister.
Yes.
Oh, very well played.
Yeah,
It was horrible. Sorry.
We're not nice, are we?
No.
I really got quite scared.
Yes, so did I.
I thought you were such nice gentlemen as well.
Oh, horrible that.
All these years I've known you.
That was brilliant
Well
characterization.
done, Bella.
Yeah, it was
Just
brilliant.
from the reading, you could imagine them in that setting. It's fantastic, guys. Thank you.
Well, it was it was good fun doing it, and even got Val's computer repaired in time.
Yeah,
For my one line. Well, my introduction was my one line.
but you played it so well, Val.
Oh, Jackie, it's too
You
much.
stole the show.
You had the last word.
Playing the drum when the sweat pig was sweating.
That's a great line, isn't it? The bastard sweat pig is sweating.
I know, it's full of venom.
Oh.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say really well done to all three of you, but especially Tony, because Tony came in without having had any preparation. And when I asked Tony whether he was familiar with the play, he said not. That he hadn't got. So in terms of people's experience of the reading they've just had, what I'd like to is to get you to see what your responses to that reading and whether you're familiar with the play, because I'm reminded of the fact that in the early days, Pinter, when people were asking him questions about the play, would always say, "It's all there." He wouldn't give explanations or analysis on it. And because we've done these two bits that were quite different, the relatively gentle domestic scene we've done, and this interrogation. I'm wondering what people's responses to it are.
No, I haven't had any previous experience of the play. The first one I found intriguing because I like that sort of edgy, but you're not sure why it's edgy stuff. The second one, I agree with everyone about the sinister aspect. But maybe it's my background. I got a bit unsure, and maybe that's intentional on the part of Pinter, that I felt, especially given the name Goldberg, for me, that the interrogators were perhaps Jewish, but then was starting to come across more like Gestapo. And that was very uncomfortable for me.
I have to say, Nell, Graham's accent reminded me of the East End of London, and the people surrounded me for while I was growing up.
Yeah.
It was very accurate.
I
I
was thinking,
say that. But it's that process of coercion where a person's answering a question from their perspective, and the people asking the question are twisting everything. So it turns that person into thinking that, is that actually what I think? Is that what I feel? No, it is. That process of mental pressure and coercion.
Maybe now, if you'd known that McCann was an unfrocked Irish priest, I've got the sense of the Gestapo.
I didn't know that.
Your response to it, if you'd known that.
I think the play has come under criticism because of its perhaps Jewish stereotypes there. And I think, remember, it was written in 1957, 58. So I don't think it'd be written like that
to
today.
Address that, Bernard.
Go on, Derek, yeah.
I've been trying to get in for some time.
Sorry.
Yeah. I want to address that point specifically, because you think now this is a writer who's lost people in the Holocaust, right? So you know he comes from the Jewish tradition,
Yeah.
and clearly these two characters, and think about it. He's also got, as well as a Jewish icon in the sense of this brilliant character, in my view, that he's read, because this guy loves himself. He expresses all this stuff. He's in command, very, very witty when he says, sort of, in terms of being recognized as a Christian. And then you go over to McCann, and you've got another oppressed group. England oppressed Ireland. They spent hundreds of years invading Ireland. So you now clear on stage, you've got these two figures that are representing some of clandestine authority within the British society. This is coming from the British society. And what he's done is have, we fairly recent memory, we've come through a war which was about fighting fascism, where millions of Jews and others were killed, but especially Jewish people, and yet one of the oppressors is Jewish, and the writer is Jewish.
Yeah. maybe it's important to regard it in the framework of the times, because I'm aware that the Israelis have committed unfortunate acts.